for the fourth video. So we've hired somebody to write lore for the game and the website. A friend of mine is a real good writer, understands a lot of RP and that type of stuff, so she's going to hook it up. And the decision is no longer to put the text over the knife, and at first this type of text right here was over this, and then this had a text over it, and it just was this big bunch of fucking text, and it was hard to read. So I've come up with the idea, because aesthetically I want this to look nice. I don't want a bunch of text. There's a lot of people who design stuff in Second Life and they're like, oh, that's what you'll have text like that. It's like, no, it doesn't. Develop. We come up with a new way. So we took the text that would be over here and put it here on the drop menus, and that can only hold 250 characters. So it's limited. I need a lot more. So the idea is, when you do this and you go here, everybody just clicks this card and it opens up my web page, the web page for Mordor, and it has all the lore on currently where the quest is going. And then as you go to these different places, you click the card and it opens up that web page on this one, and that way the Dungeon Master can read off the information, or if you're playing alone, you can follow along. You can, of course, just keep the website open and just read it as you go. Everybody will have their own way. But I think that's going to be a cleaner look, where this is all you get when you go into these. And then I still have problems slow resing on some of the cards. I wish we could figure out some work just perfectly. That one might be the image size. And see, another problem with me is I get really too much trying to detail it that it's hard for the system to res. So anyways, cut those down in size and format and see what happens. So you can click here, it's going to open, I don't have it set up yet, it's going to open the website. Now what's going on when you play the game is, what I've been working on to tell you where I'm at is, when you wear the HUD, and it goes on, I'll show you real quick, something happens here when you do this. This tells the board, you know, your name, this, but also it makes a list within the game of who's playing. As like I said, everything you do, you have to counter people in Second Life just clicking random shit. So now the list knows who's involved in the quest, and it will not accept clicks from outsiders unless they're on that list. And it won't, example, these dice are going to work in a system where you're going to see your name come up over it as the next person in line to attack or do whatever, whoever the Dungeon Master wants. It's going to use all that information, put names over things to put people in order. So this list is very important. And the list goes like this: your UID number and then your character type. And then I have a system when I say it's time for someone to attack. All of a sudden you'll see their name, the Drow. The dice will slide up and they'll know to roll. So this list that I'm making is very important right now, that I can use it to control different aspects of the game, keeping everybody in line, basically. Kind of hard to explain, but that's where I'm at with it today, and it's going to take me most of the day to develop that system, because that list of names and character types is going to be used in a lot of different aspects of the gameplay. And so the system is going to have to know how to know who is who, what is what character they are, what line of order they are for roles. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on with this list. So the system I'm going to build is going to make a sub-list of character names. It's going to take that main information of your UID and your character type. It's going to make a sub-list of your display name, and it's going to make another sub-list of your character. Because at times I'm going to just need your character type, and at times I'm going to need your name. The thing we don't want to play with character too much, though, is what there's 5 people playing Drow, or this, or Elf, or that. So we don't want to do too many commands within the game that, like, the Drow does this. We're going to want it where it's going to say, the Dark Hand, the Drow, it's time to roll, kind of thing. And that's where my mind is right now. Countering people using the same character type. Because through the quests, through the wording, I want it right. You know what I mean? I don't want it just someone's name thrown out there. I want their character type. I want to give them the credit for their creation of their character and them as the creator. So putting their display name and their character type is important to me. And being able to use that information throughout the quest seamlessly and flawlessly is very important to me. So today's project is a listing system that separates everybody by their name, by their UID, by their character type, and at the same time ties that all together easily to be used at certain points of the quest. That's where we are. That's where I'm going to leave it. Thank you for watching if you have. It means a lot to me. I'm a small developer in Second Life. You get easily buried by the masses who just create. I do everything myself, so except for I was so grateful I was able to hire a writer today. I mean, I still have to do all the website work, and I'm adding PHP. This game is going to log players and their score, and on my Wayne website you'll see each person that's played the D&D game and their scoring. I'd like to make it where you can make characters and have that sheet online, but here's the problem with Second Life. RPers here want to have 25 characters. They want to be in all the factions. They want to be in everything. You can't. They're like, I need 10 character slots. I need 20 character slots. I need 100 character slots, and they probably only use 2. So I don't want to open myself up to trying to database players and their different characters, because that's what it will lead to. And I don't want that. I want just dungeon D&D players and their skill levels as a D&D player, not their character as a player, which would be their display name. And that's another thing. I haven't really come up with what would you tally that skill on their combat kills. Could be. Might limit some people though that don't get a chance. But there's a lot of people playing, and before you ever get to your roll, someone already killed the bad guy. And so you're not able, it wouldn't be fair, would it, to calculate those rolls like that. So another thing I thought about was how many quests you completed. Now that everybody can take part of. As long as you, in tallying, it's going to be only 3 quests, but I'm going to make more games with more quests. So I thought maybe we'd work on tallying the player and their D&D skills, not the characters. Because like I said, I know Second Life too well. People here that cannot have one character. They in the role play world, I'll be honest with you, I was playing with making some HUDs, helping some places out, and I ran away from it because I felt the needs of the role players in Second Life I wasn't able to accommodate. They just need a little more than I'm willing to offer. I know that sounds bad, but it's just, I don't feel people need 10 character slots. I don't think people should be able to just join factions as they wish. I think they should be chosen to join, you know what I mean? Like the normal way. You can't just put on the tag normally of a faction and go, hey, I'm in that faction. You have to be accepted. So when I made a system, I made it that unless you were in the active group for that faction, you couldn't display it. And there were people like, well, I'm in all the factions and I need to be, I wouldn't have to click this. And that was another thing. They just had to click something to change your faction. They just had to change your group and then click something. But that was too much. That was too much to do. To change your name and click something was way too much. So we don't do that. We don't play with Second Life's character game. Let those people, that's their fun, that's their creation. There are creators out there that make HUDs for that. But I told myself, stay away from that. I'm a mad scientist, and I can be an evil mad scientist. And sometimes people push Dr. Evil. And I'm not a nice guy, and I just can't help it. So I stay away from that stuff. If you're listening to this video, and take some advice to someone that's been doing this 14 years, stay away from that. You're going to put yourself in a position where people, I mean, to this day, my sales still struggle from a sim that does 60,000 traffic that got upset because I went bow to all their needs. It's very easy in Second Life to get some bad word of mouth about you and suffer in sales. So be careful and don't do it. Have a good one.